excuse me. Well, hello and aloha to all of you, my brothers and sisters, my children, my fathers and my mothers, my people on the planet Earth. Time is 1 o'clock. Today, I believe it's 17th of June. Time is 1 o'clock. Last night I spoke about the spiritual leadership, and I feel to continue this tonight, talk about the lack of the spiritual leadership. What is it going to do to us, and why is it lacking, and what are the elements involved in that? Well, there is no spiritual leadership in the world right now, or there's a lot of wrong ones. Mainly because people have not realized yet that there is a new revelation by God called Baha'i faith for close to 2 centuries right now on the planet Earth, with lots of Baha'is, lots of followers. And mostly people, they say that, oh, religion is an old story. As the Schopenhauer says, it's a suitor to the mouth of a baby. Mankind is grown up, don't need religion anymore. And what is the point of religion? All it does is creates differences between people, creates war, creates a lot of problems. It's definitely, to many people, it's a social disease, it's a mental sickness, all that. And they say, sure, maybe the Baha'i faith is different, but eventually it's going to be doing the same thing. I've said that before many times. I'm just going to reiterate the same story, the same logic, that we can't be without spiritual values, because simply we are a spiritual being. Sure, we have economical and social need, but we do have the spiritual need. When I'm looking at the problem, I see that a couple of movements have taken place since Baha'ullah came, the advent of the Baha'i faith. Some people decided to go towards communism and materialism and fight with it ideologically to get rid of the religion. They couldn't. And others in the West, they tried to go scientific way, in a different way, in a free world. And they succeeded more than communists. But it's still in both regions of the world, in these countries, religion is just as stronger even than before. Proliferated, ramified, it has many, many sections to it. So, when I look at the societies like in Iran, where there are religion, I call it bad religion, I see what is it doing to people. The argument of those who say religion is bad is completely true, and you go look at that or Saudi Arabia or some other countries. And I'm looking at the West, where there's no religion, I see the same problem. The problem is there. It seems that in all of our effort that we have done economically, sociologically, we have not been able to get rid of the religion and the need for it, and that's why it's proliferating and coming about. The matter lies really in that we need a social womb beside the physical womb that we are 9 months and 9 days, whatever, 9 hours is in it. We come out, we have to be taken care of by a biological mom and dad for at least 15, 16 years or even more, till we're mature to go to the society. And so if you have no religion, there's no social, there's no spiritual womb like family structure. That's what's going to happen, as it is happening in the West. A lot of dysfunctional people are up. If you go to the old ways and have people develop in the Islamic and Christian womb, when these children grow up under the characters of training of a Muslim or Christian, they don't get along. So into society they come right in the middle of Canada. They're totally differentiating themselves through the appearances, clothing and makeups. They certainly don't want to get married with each other. And calling each other infidels. This guy, they want to burn Quran. And those guys, they call Christians totally infidels. And so on and so forth. So, what do we do? If we have no religion, it doesn't work. If we want to have a religion, that's what's going to happen. This is where, when I see that there's no solution, we need, besides all these social and economical skills, we need a spiritual things, because there has to be love. This is not a contract. There has to be love between man and woman and their marriage constitution, honesty, trust, reliability, and all that. Those things are gone. You can't breed a human being. You can breed them physically, but you can't train them and teach them to become effective individuals. Therefore, I'll look for the solution. What do we do? I see only Baha'i faith has been able to convince majority of the ideologies in the world under one umbrella called Baha'i faith. The followers are from all kind of backgrounds. So practically, when I look at it, I see that this is like a experiment. In the last couple of hundred years, Baha'ullah has been able to do that. Baha'i faith has been able to do that. Therefore, there's a great chance of mankind coming down through the Baha'i faith, and we create a new family system in which mom and dad, you know, they could have different religions still, but they still have proper, effective, you know, things with the children. This is the reasons. So, if you say religion causes the problem, I tell you religion is an instinctive matter. Before there was any religion in countries, you know, like Africa or other countries in the world, South America, they were sacrificing people and killing each other for the sake of gods and whatnot. These kind of religions or the ideologies, they do not have a divine source. It's just mankind, if does not have answers to the reasons, to the certain questions, it's not philosophical, it's actually to the daily life it matters, like family, like love and whatnot. So it's going to create his own. So Baha'i faith really is an antibiotic that gets rid of all these germs. Thousands and thousands of cults every day they're coming up in the United States. The cults that they follow satanic, you know, behavior and acts. Or in the countries of the East, a lot of perverted ideologies of Islams and other type of religion they come up, and they tend to destroy the humanity, and they are doing it every day. So in this conundrum, pandemonium, what do? Some power has to come from God, from a powerful source, to get rid of all these wrong ideologies, so-called religions. This is what Baha'i faith has to come in effect. If we don't do it, we're just going to be infested more and more and more. When people don't believe in divine revelation such as Baha'u'llah, then they have an incomplete, imperfect view over the human need, over the human society. As a result, they're going to legislate bad rules, bad laws, bad governments. Result of that is going to be divorce. Divorce causes dysfunctional people. Dysfunctional people get into drug, murder, and all that kind of a jazz. So there's only one way. If there is lack of there's no spiritual leadership, the lack of it is going to create thousands, literally, of philosophers. They don't even know religion, but they call themselves ethical leader. You know, so many of them are there. For God's sake, thousands of businesses are palm readings. These things that have no ground. They're even dangerous entertainment. The man in 21st century has to rely on a palm reader to tell him what the future might be, or read tarot cards. This just shows the bankruptcy of all ideas. We do need spiritual leadership to get rid of all of these wrong things that's happening. Wrong businesses, wrong legislation, wrong politicians, wrong governments, wrong regimes, wrong books, wrong TV programs. Because these are all harmful to us. In order to moderate it, we have to recognize the spiritual need. And once we know the spiritual need, primarily to create a family, then of course we have to look at where the sources are. And you don't need to know Baha'ullah. You just have to look at the need. Can we let go of religion, therefore, of all these rules that cannot be in the family, that cannot be legislated, that cannot be postulated, that cannot be enacted? It's not the work of scientists or philosophers or legislature to create some family structures. The ethical rule that requires this, it has to be powerful enough. If it's not powerful enough, then there's going to create thousands of sects. All they claim is spirituality. Their main defective outcome of it